Story. There once was a king named Midas who did a good deed for a satyr, a spirit of nature. Dionysus, the god of wine, then granted him a wish. For his wish, Midas asked that whatever he touched would turn to gold. Despite Dionysus' effort to prevent it, Midas pleaded that this was a fantastic wish, so it was bestowed. Excited about his newly earned powers, Midas started touching all kinds of things, turning each into pure gold. But soon Midas became hungry. As he picked up a piece of food, he found he couldn't eat it. It had turned to gold in his hand. Hungry, Midas groaned, "I was starved. Perhaps this was not such an excellent wish after all." Seeing his dismay, Midas' beloved daughter threw her arms around him to comfort him, and she too turned to gold. The golden touch is no blessing. Perhaps I should have been more careful about what I wish for, Midas cried. Story. Once when the lion was asleep, a little mouse began running up and down upon him. This soon wakened the lion, who placed his huge paw upon him and opened his big jaws to swallow him. "Pardon, O king," cried the little mouse. "Forgive me this time. I shall never forget it. Who knows but what I may be able to do in return some of these days." "Ha ha ha! Whatever can a tiny mouse like you do for me?" said the lion. But luck shone on the mouse, for the lion let it go because the idea tickled him. Some time after, the lion was caught in a trap, and the hunters who desired to carry him alive to the king tied him to a tree whilst they went in search of a wagon to carry him on. Just then the little mouse happened to pass by, and seeing the sad plight in which the lion was, went up to him and soon gnawed away the ropes that bound the lion. "Was I not right?" said the little mouse. "Can little friends not be great friends?" Story. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows, then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. As she filled the pails with milk and went to the market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. As she walked along the road, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. A little further down the road, she spotted a chicken. She thought, "With the money I get from today, I'm going to buy my own chicken. That chicken will lay eggs, then I can sell milk and eggs and make more money." She continued, "With more money, I can buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous." Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pails. Soon, the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. Drenched, Molly said to herself, "Oh no, I will never have enough money to buy chicken now." She went home with her empty pails. "Oh my goodness, what happened to you?" Molly's mother asked. "I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails," she answered. "Oh, Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch?" Story. Once upon a time, in a desert far away, there was a rose who was so proud of her beautiful looks. Her only complaint was that she was growing next to an ugly cactus. Every day, the beautiful rose would insult and mock the cactus about his looks, all while the cactus remained quiet. All the other plants nearby tried to make the rose see sense, but she was too swayed by her own looks. One scorching summer, the desert became dry, and there was no water left for the plants. The rose quickly began to wilt. Her beautiful petals dried up, losing their lush color. Looking to the cactus, she saw a sparrow dip his beak into the cactus to drink some water. Though ashamed, the rose asked the cactus if she could have some water. The kind cactus readily agreed, helping them both through the tough summer as friends. Story. A wolf had been gorging on an animal he had killed, when suddenly a small bone in the meat stuck in his throat and he could not swallow it. He soon felt terrible pain in his throat and ran up and down groaning and seeking for something to relieve the pain. He tried to induce everyone he met to remove the bone. "I will give you anything," said he, "if you would take it out." At last, the crane agreed to try and told the wolf to lie on his side and open his jaws as wide as he could. Then the crane put its long neck down the wolf's throat and with its beak loosened the bone till at last it got out. "Will you kindly give me the reward you promised?" said the crane. The wolf grinned and showed his teeth and said, "Be content, you have put your head inside a wolf's mouth and taken it out again in safety. That ought to be reward enough for you." Story. The lion went once a-hunting along with the fox, the jackal, and the wolf. They hunted till at last they surprised the stag and soon took its life. Then came the question of how the spoil should be divided. "Quarter for me," roared the lion. So the other animals skinned it and cut it into 4 parts. Then the lion took his stand in front of the carcass and pronounced judgment. "The first quarter is for me in my capacity as king of the beasts. The second is mine as arbiter. Another share comes to me for my part in the chase. And as for the 4th quarter, well, as for that, I should like to see which one of you would dare to lay a paw upon it." "Humph," grumbled the fox as he walked away with his tail between his legs. But he spoke in a low growl. "You may share the labors of the great, but you will not share the spoil."